And there we go, now the mic's working. Hello, hello, welcome to the stream. I'm like, why isn't the mic picking up? So, it's been a little while. Yes, yes. That's been fun. Been enjoying life, so haven't been able to stream game dev too much, but tonight we are doing it for once. I just need to check up on something real quick. Cool. Good. Alright. Okay, so what are we doing tonight? So I've been working on the Chapter 3 final boss, which is a Ghost Pirate Captain. And the Ghost Pirate Captain mostly has attacks that involve, like, cannon waves. So during the boss fight, the player has to avoid a bunch of, like, cannonballs flying in from the sky. That's already been completed. The boss itself will slowly move towards the player, and if the boss is close to the player, it will start spawning little, like, ghostly swords that circle around the boss. And that's actually already implemented, except for the move towards part. So I believe we have to add that real quick. So this is the state machine for the boss. We just need to get the direction to the player. So we will point, we'll get a vector that points from, actually we should have a util for this too. Yeah. Or not. What? I find it funny we don't. That's kind of interesting. I wonder if we have one, like, in the... Okay, I guess not. I'm just a little surprised. Oh, I'm dumb. Angle 2. There we go. It was staring right in my face. So, we're gonna get the angle from the monster towards the player. And actually, it would be better to get the vector, because then I can just multiply the vector. Move vec, which is going to be using point to, which returns the unit vector pointing from a certain location towards another location, in this case the player. And then with that information, we can take that vector and we will multiply it by how fast we want to move. In this case, we have a movement speed. I don't know where monsters.txt is. Oh, over here. Move speed is 50%. That's how we'll move towards the player. At that speed. So we'll get the move speed multiplier. And we'll multiply that by 100. And that is that. That'll be our move vec. Then we set the velocity of the monster to move towards that location by that speed. Wonder if... We do have to multiply by F elapsed time. Do that here. That way it's Frame-based. That should be that. I think it's less confusing if I do this here. Unless velocity is then multiplied by f elapsed time, which I think is actually the case. Could be wrong about that, but we'll try it out real quick. So right now when the Ghost Pirate Captain spawns, it simply... It actually goes to like the upper left corner of the screen and stays there because it waits for some amount of time to pass. So first wave complete. This variable determines whether or not an entire wave has been done. So basically, until the first wave is complete... Is this too loud? No, that's fine. Until the first wave is complete, the boss does not even move anywhere or is not even on the map. In fact, the boss is at -400, -400. So we always have to make sure that first wave is complete before the boss ends up moving towards the player. Oh wait, I've already done this, I think? Or I was going to. Okay, I see. So I wrote that up there and I just never finished it. I kind of like what I did here though. Maybe we'll incorporate that. So something like... So we have 0.2, we have set velocity, but we're not accounting for the movement of the monster. So that needs to go there. And then that's essentially the same thing. And then we just have... That's it. Okay. Cool. I did not know that was there. I guess I was like starting to work on it and I just never finished it. Recently this has been happening and I'm not sure why. It's not the craziest thing because it's literally on game close, but it is kind of annoying that some texture has been deleted before delete texture is being called, which confuses me. It's just very strange. That's something we have to look at eventually. It actually doesn't matter in terms of the game functioning. But it would be nice if that doesn't keep happening every time I play the game. Or close the game. So what we should expect to see is the first cannon wave goes off. I don't have any like sound effects for this yet or anything, but eventually we'll have some. This is what it looks like, and then a little small rain of cannonballs, and then here's the Ghost Pirate Captain. So we have to actually play the walking animation too, which I forgot to do. But we can see that it is indeed doing that. Also, the boss needs to face the player depending on which way it's moving towards the player. Other than that, that is more or less what it needs to be doing. Just need to clean it up. So during this time, we will perform animation. And the animation we're going to perform is, I believe, walk. Yes. Perform walk. And we'll update facing direction to face... Or that. So face target. What is target? Oh, this is a Boolean. That's not right. That's weird. Oh, you know what? Yeah, okay, update facing direction and call get facing direction to target, which in this case our target's the player. It's been a minute. But yes, that will make sure it is performing that walk animation, and yeah. Actually, I don't know about the walk animation, like, because it's like a ghost, right? So, I don't know. I was thinking the ghost aspect was just going to be the light green effect I added itself. Maybe that's not enough. I don't know. Hard to say. Hard to say. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't look right. I think just the floating aspect is enough. So maybe we won't do this. We will update the facing direction though. That's fine. Okay, so we'll go ahead and commit that real quick. Our Captain Ghost moves towards the player. Its release build 12,032. Alright. So if collision damage is taken by the spinning Ghost Saber, then the slash animation for the boss is performed. So, it's kind of interesting. I'm not sure how I want to handle that quite yet. Because I could just throw it in here under Ghost Saber. I only have a weak pointer to the... Wait. Oh. Wait, this is good. I have a weak pointer to the monster. So all I have to do is say target lock. Or target. I guess attached monster lock. Also, that needs to not be expired, because it can be. And then we're going to do update or perform animation. So if we perform this animation, we need to not perform the walk animation momentarily, which this is going to kind of conflict because it... Or wait, no, we don't have a walk animation, never mind. So we have to perform this animation one time, and then we have to go back to, I guess, the idle animation. Perform this animation, wait some amount of time, go back. It's kind of annoying that it's handled like this, like in here. I don't like that. I think what we'll do is we'll update the state of the monster in here, and then we'll do the rest in the other side. Like, we just have to set some kind of flag. Some flag that says we're in the middle of doing that, so then it stops whatever else it's doing, or it... Just kind of strange. It's like the animation itself. I guess the easiest way to handle it we can think of it as whatever state we were just in, let's store that, and then go to another state, perform that state for a minute until the timer runs out, the animation timer, and then we go back to whatever state we were just in. The state of all other variables, assuming none are shared between that and the new state we make, will not alter anything about the monster's previous behavior, so it will continue to attack the way it should. I think, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So we're going to do set phase, I believe, is the function. And I type actual, there we go. So we're gonna set phase, strategy name. Can I just do get strategy? Or get current strategy or something? Hmm. Get strategy. Oh, that is not... What? This returns a function with the strategy itself in it. That's kind of weird. Just get the strategy name. I guess that's not exposed. Let's find out why. Strategy. Oh, it is here. Strategy, but it's not... It's not exposed, I don't think. It's kinda weird. Huh. Okay, so it's not exposed. So I guess it's time to make that happen. We can just make it a string view. Strategy name, or get strategy name. Because apparently we already have get strategy, which is the strategy itself. So we can't use that. This returns our string view. Const, we're not modifying anything about the object. So the function is const, and then we return strategy. Okay. So that gives us the strategy name, so we can do get strategy name. Is that private? It's currently private. Oops. Make that public. Go up there with the public functions, and then should be good. Yes. Okay, so now it should be accessible. Can I convert from string view to string? To const string, I would say. Gosh dang it, this always happens too. I always wonder about that. It's like... I feel like I've gone over this like a million times at this point. This is supposed to be like old news, and yet here we are, still fumbling with this. Like, is it just because of cons? I think we figured out that was not the case. That it would still be affected. So yeah, now it's complaining that this needs to be an L value. Yeah. Which is correct because it is no longer a reference. And it is a... So using string view here is not right. So we'll turn this into a standard string ref. One day I'll make this proper. In a future like game where when I build it, I'll just make it so all the keys are in string views. Like the outermost readable stuff should be string views instead of strings. That would be ideal. And then what phase? So I have to go off of enum numbers here because these are not exposed to Ghost Saber, that class. So if I wanted to number this phase, I guess I have to pick one. Maybe I can set it equal to something, that way I know for sure it will always be that value, and if I add stuff to the list, it won't be dumb. That's actually smart, right? So we can say something like Ghost Saber slash equals like 99 or something. So in the future, like let's say I made this 3, right? Because normally, if this was by auto assignment, it'd be 0, 1, 2, 3. So whatever I add afterwards should be 4. It just goes on. Even if I added it here, this would be... Oh. Interesting. The auto numbering is based on where it is in the list, not based on... And it doesn't care about any other values. That's interesting. Anyways, I'll probably set this to some weird value like 999. That's never going to actually be reached. That way when I set this to 999, or even better, Ghost Saber slash event or not event, phase ID is 999. I don't know why I did standard string though. So int. What? In any case, that sets it there. Then we give control back to the boss itself, and we can go ahead and make this down here. Why does that keep happening? So we want to set a timer. We also need a new monster attribute. Move you here, please. Maybe. So this is the slash timer. Animation timer. So we want to set that. Set... Oh, we don't have all the setters, do we? It's supposed to be like set float or something. We don't have all these. I think we don't have these. It's supposed to just be like... Oh, the fact that this still works is kind of interesting. Let me see what happens. Attribute This does not like any of this. Okay. Monster attribute, maybe? You'll pick this up? Nope. Okay. So... oh, it's just called attribute. See, all the defines are here, so maybe this is just needs to be defined and then it'll probably be happy. That's probably what it is. No, apparently not. Okay. Inaccessible from here. Oh, so is it a friend class? Wait, this is an enum class. What? Or get float. Get float is private, maybe? So if get float is whoa. We're in AIL? Hold on, go back. Something's not right. So this is supposed to read into monster. So I think it's Visual Studio is just taking me to the wrong location. So something like, so we have get float here. Do have our setters. Because monsters are supposed to be attributable, right? Let me see. It's supposed to be the, yeah. They have the attributable class here. So if we have our getters. So, oh, that's what I'm supposed to do. There's no set, it's just get. God, I feel dumb. Okay, get float. So if we do that, still inaccessible. Public. Okay. Find that a little bizarre. How is this inaccessible to here? Because if these are public, they should be exposed. Attributable. Oh, you know what? Here we go. Maybe? Nope. Nope. And then we would set this to whatever the current animation is. So if I change the monster's animation, then yeah, get animation or get current animation, and then get total animation duration. That's what it should be set to. Now, for some reason, I feel like this is a lie. I don't see how it could be inaccessible from here. I guess we'll find out in a second. But we will play the slashing animation. Let me just try to compile this. Maybe it'll be more clear what is wrong. Okay. Not accessible because monster uses private to inherit from Oh. Why do we have private inheritance to attributable? That is shocking. Did I do that on purpose? Did I do that on purpose? So to fix that then, I would make the Ghost Saber a friend class of monster attributable, or I attributable, which doesn't really make sense. So I feel like we publicly expose the member function publicly inherit from I attributable. I don't know why this was like that. Very strange. Doesn't make sense. Anyway, that's that. So with this here, we can go back over here now. And we are going to make it, so... This is going to count down the timer. So we'll do... Maybe I'll add a note here. It says, this was triggered by Ghost Saber when it gets attacked. Okay, hold on. So there's another thing here. This doesn't happen here, actually. This happens when the hit occurs. So the monster can't be expired. Yeah, that's when it's supposed to happen. So then, Ghost Saber / animation timer goes down when it hits 0 or less. Then we're going to perform the idle animation again. And we'll jump back to our previous phase. So we don't actually know what the phase was before this, so let's do that now. I would like to make an attribute just to store that information. Either that or... Maybe we should build it in? Imagine if every time we call set phase, it would store whatever phase was previously occurring in a variable that we call set previous phase, or go back to previous phase. I mean, that's kind of fair, right? That way, if we need this feature in the future, it just sounds like a useful general feature to have instead of building it for this one very specific monster. So I will. So previous phase, and previous phase should be an int. And we can just set to phase at first. What is this type? It's an unordered map. Oh. Right, there's a phase for every single strategy. In that case, there should be a previous phase. Wait, does that make sense? It's almost like changing strategies also would mean we have a different previous phase. That doesn't really work, does it? I don't like that. Because we made it so every single strategy that a monster executes has its own variables. So trying to going back to a previous phase and having its variables not work. Because it wasn't actually in that phase before, would be quite the spaghetti code. It would have to be like they're tied together. So you go, if you change strategies or change phases, then you update that variable, and then if you want to go back to the previous state, then it reverts back both the state and the phase. And I really don't like that. That sounds like an absolute mess to debug someday if we were to theoretically have that kind of system. So that's going to be a no-go. We're not going to do that. Instead, we'll just incorporate it here. We'll just call this like previous phase. Simple enough. We'll store whatever phase we were on before doing all this and go back to it afterward. That will keep all the variables nice and happy. That's not what I wanted. And we'll get the phase of the current phase of the monster set there. For whatever its current strategy name is. Cool. Then we go back. Perform model animation and set phase to whatever was in previous phase. Oh. Well, that's awkward. What? Hello? I feel like that's just lingering behind and that's not actually a thing anymore. Anyway. I should more or less set the phase to what it was prior. We're good to go. Previous phase redefinition. Oh, we have this already. Wow, cool. Okay. Past Josh has already thought about this. Very good. So after this, cannon shot stuff is done. What else happened? So we have to work on the treasure mechanic. So actually, let's work on spreading the curse. So the ghost throws a coin towards the player, and the player gets marked. Player takes dot damage after time if the coin is returned to the pirate treasure. Pirate treasure has a fixed point on the map. So it's like, there will be a coin that the player has to pick up. So let's think of it this way. Coin gets picked up, we'll have some like visual to display that, like the coin will appear above the player's head. It's like, so the coin will be thrown to a random position. Maybe it'll like slide, kind of like a hockey puck. Or something. Players to pick it up. I think it would be cool if it like slid and it can like bounce off of obstacles and stuff. That might be a little bit extra, but it's possible. Anyways, coin slides on the ground, player goes and grabs it. It makes a little like coin icon above their head indicating they've picked it up, and then they have to find a treasure box. When they get near that treasure box, the coin will have a little like throwing animation into there, and then that is that. Oh, I'm dumb. I could have realized that earlier. Oops. I wonder. I was complaining. Yeah, we need some like little animations that we're gonna have to do tonight. I guess it's not too bad. And then for the coin box itself, I think we want to make it so the player like collides with it. That means we could probably treat it as like a monster that does 0 collision damage, and on collision, we have an extra flag that says, okay, this is the coin box, so if you have the coin, goes in there. Something like that. It can be hard-coded, right? That'd be cool. Oh, hello. So if I get hit by the sword, there we go. Okay, yeah. So every time I get hit by the saber, that slashing animation plays. There we go. That's cool. Just a little like extra thing. Flash animation plays when Ghost Saber hits player. Release build 1236. All right. I guess we'll at least get started on that tonight and then finish that up like tomorrow or whenever. So I need like a little coin and a treasure box. I think I'll just make the coin like a flat object and then it will like just spin around a little when it's sliding along the ground or something. That'd probably be best. Something like that. Probably make it yellowish or orangish color like most coins would be, right? That makes sense. Kind of make it a little large so it's noticeable. Maybe like that. Okay. I kind of already have this actually. Maybe I should just use this that icon. Because I have a currency icon for the game already. Maybe I'll just use that one. It's from the HUD itself. So I think I just called it money. Yeah. Let's open up this one. Because we could probably just take the top. Yeah, let's just use that. Simpler, right? Already exists. And gonna have what we want there. That was more or less what I was gonna do, so. It's just this icon's a little smaller than 24 by 24, so I'll have to expand it. 16 by 16. Interesting. Okay. Maybe I'll add like... something like that. Because what I want is when it spins, I want it to look a little more obvious. Maybe something like that. Maybe. Yeah, well, let's just go with that. That's the coin, and then we need like a little treasure box thing. Oh, this also needs to be 24 by 24. But I'll keep the actual size where it is. In game, it'll be about that size, which is roughly what I want. Then the treasure box. So I guess the treasure box needs an open and close animation. So close, and then when the player... Actually, I think what will happen is it'll be closed. Player gets near it, it opens. Bump into it, it goes... Coin goes in. Then that's that. Then the close animation occurs. I don't even think it will be an animation, honestly. I just think it'll just straight up be the image will change. I don't even think I want to have like a very smooth animation when it comes to that. Anyways, very standard kind of thing here. Just go with the little... Right, round it out a little sooner than that. Okay. Like this, like that. So probably have like a gray line right here. Box itself will probably be brownish color. Maybe a darker brown color. This probably needs to be darker. That line. That part doesn't really make sense. Okay. It's a little like... I guess in this case, we want to have a little like... Let me see what this should look like. Okay. So normally the edges have their own thing going on. So, okay, it's like usually the tops and bottoms part off a bit, so maybe like that. Or like embroidered, I guess you could say, kind of. Lock. It's usually up top, right? Because it's like the bottom and the top, right? Keeps it shut. So look, something more like that. This would match normally. What else? I guess instead these outer edges would all be like the same color. And we just need some extra lines going across. Anything else? Oh, really? It's good enough for me. And then we need an open version. So we'll put that. So in terms of custom animations, if we're gonna treat this as a monster, we need to have the 4 default animations, and then the 5th animation will be the custom one, the open animation. We could just make the attack animation be the open animation, which I guess would make sense. I don't think that will affect it, as long as we don't actually call it. So that would work, I believe. Do this, and this, and that. So we can make the dead animation be the open animation. That makes sense. So for the open animation, we'll see like a darker side of the chest, and then obviously this will be open. So it should look more like... it should just be like a rectangle, kinda. Opened up. Kinda like this, almost. And then inside, maybe a little lighter over here? I don't know. Potentially. Obviously this goes away, and inside would kind of show the contents. And we'll assume there's stuff inside, like more coins or whatever, so it'll just be filled with coinage. Shiny things, whatever, what have you, right? Coinage and shiny thing. Yes. Okay, so that's that. That's opened. We also need the lock thing to be... I guess it's expected that this comes up more. I don't know. Like the top should have one of these too, or it should like go a little higher like that, right? So that when it's opened, it sticks up like this, kind of. Yeah. More or less. Okay, enough messing with the graphics, I guess. That's fine. Alrighty. That's a treasure chest. So we have a coin and a treasure chest. Graphic. And those will be available for the next time we work on it. So the idea is coin will appear somewhere, it just gets shot off. It kind of in the general direction of the player, maybe like, we'll just say point towards the player, then add plus or minus 10 degrees, and then add another random like 20 to 30 degrees. And this should be enough to where it's going to slide towards the player, but then it'll be offset, which means the player might not grab it immediately and has to go chase it, or at least they'll see it slide by on the screen, knowing they should probably go pick it up. And then the chest itself will be somewhere on the map. Oh, the pirate treasure has a fixed position on the map. Okay. Let's look at the map real quick, shall we? Maybe it'll be obvious when I look at it. Hello? Where's the list? You... project. Okay. Parking spawn. Hiding spot. How about the hiding spots? Where would the pirate's treasure be? Maybe we'll just set it. So this is kind of interesting. I wonder how the game, how it's gonna make it obvious where the treasure will be. Maybe it'll be down here. Seems like an okay spot for it, right? But how will we indicate to the player that's what they have to do? That's a good question. Maybe once you have the coin, there'll be a little arrow. And then it's just a marker indicating that's where you return the treasure, right? Maybe that's what we'll do. Then we'll have the pirate's treasure icon, or pirate's treasure up here, down here. We could put it up here where his spawn is. Also a possibility. But yeah, probably down here. Then when the player's exploring, they'll probably find it. Once they know where it is, they can always return to that same spot. This sounds like a good plan. Anyways, I'm getting a little tired. It's getting a little late. So I'm going to call it here for tonight. For those of you that tuned in, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this short programming session. It's rare nowadays, but wanted to get at least a little something done. Yeah, for those of you that tuned in, take care. Have a good one. Until next time, bye-bye.